And this is just my life and how I believe that I'm called to give back. Everything I do for free because it's so important to me, because I know what it's like to be sitting in a group and have somebody come in and you think, oh, this is just going to be another blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe it is, but the key word that I want you to hold on to is what I started out with, is there is hope, and there's also help that goes with that hope. And you're not alone. You may feel like you're alone, but you've met me now, and all of you are welcome to refer people to our group, and it's a free group, and or they can email me or call me. I spend a lot of time on this because it's important for people not to be alone and not to feel as though they have no hope, because that is terrible. I mean, we've been there, so I know. That's why I know. And I know that if I were dealing with some of the issues that I am now, and I had then, and I had a group like this, our group that we have, then I would not have felt so alone. I would have had somebody I could call up and say, what did you do when your child did this? Or, So, therefore, I do have business cards, and you're welcome. I've also brought in a sign-up sheet if you want me to email you, or you're welcome to take my card and email or whatever. But does anybody have a question or anything that you would like me to talk on briefly? Because I think I've pretty much used my time.
Did you, on the chelation therapy, did you just do it at home, or did you seek professional help?
Both. We did some Epsom salt baths, and later we found out that the baking soda was a good way to help neutralize it, and we did that. We did a protocol. I don't know if you all are familiar with the DAM protocol. It stands for Defeat Autism Now. And it's a biomedical approach, and we saw, and we're still seeing, Dan Doctor, Defeat Autism Now specialist, and he prescribed one chelation agent, and then lately, in the past few months, he has recommended we try a different one, which is not prescription. Anybody can go to the website and look that up, and that is detoximin.com. It's DETOX, like detox, AMIN.com, and the one that we're using is EDTA, and EDTA is also used in IV chelation therapy. We have never opted to use IV chelation for our son. We've only used topical, which was applied to his back, and it absorbs transdermally. And then this detoximin is actually a suppository form, which is probably second to IV in that you really don't want to use that format either. Nobody wants to get IVs, and nobody really wants to do suppositories, but it's less trouble than trying to hold a child and do the IVs. So, anyone else? And did you all come primarily to hear about ADD? Were you more interested in that as a topic?
More autism.
More autism, okay. Well, I wanted to make sure that we covered all the bases. As I said, I can talk for hours about all this because it's so, it's my life. I live it every day, and I work with people that are.
How did you get rid of the parasite?
The parasite, actually, we did a couple of things. We did some, one of them was called Paragon for Kids. It was an herbal remedy. And
where did you find it?
Actually, I think we got it at that time at the Wellness Pharmacy, which then was out in East Ridge, but now they're over off Gun Barrel on Chattanooga Road. I'm sure they probably still carry it. I believe it's put out by Brenda Watson's group, the cleanse. I don't know if you're familiar with her book. She's written all the books about colon cleansing and the GI tract and those kinds of things. And then we also used a pharmaceutical medication, and I'm drawing a blank.
You mean a prescription?
A prescription, yes. We also used a prescription to it's Flagyl. Flagyl is the brand name that we used, and that was a long thing to get through. We demanded, finally my husband had to literally demand that the pediatrician we were using at the time test our daughter for it, because at the time that our son had the parasite, our daughter lost all of her speech and language and skills at about 15 or 16 months of age. And after you've gone through it once, you just start going, I can't deal with this. I mean, we knew what we'd gone through already, and we did not want that for him or for her. And it took a long time.
Plus the diarrhea.
Yes, the diarrhea. Our son and daughter both had horrible diarrhea, which was just, the smell was a chemical toxic smell. My husband would literally come home in the evenings and he could smell through the door, under the closed door, that it was just emanating through the whole house. It was so toxic, and of course they had both been exposed to many different toxins in the vaccinations. And unfortunately, vaccination, as the way I see it right now, vaccinations are still not safe unless you can 100% guarantee that you're getting single dose vials. See, the problem lies in these vials when they give these larger vials of the vaccination.
Multi-use vials is what they're called.
Right. Because they use more than one injection. The bottle is for more than one injection. If they don't shake it up, all the components are not equally distributed. You're not getting enough coverage either if you're getting that. And you're also being exposed. I mean, can you imagine if they didn't really shake it up well enough, what's settled, the sediment in the bottom is going to be much more toxic. So, there's that. And I mean, to me, my husband actually has come up with a new additional theory on how we're all getting so much mercury exposure. Look at the fluorescent lights above us. All these are mercury vapor lights. Be very careful if you use the coiled light bulbs. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? The special, great, environmentally friendly. Do not ever break one of those because they are full of mercury. It's a toxic biohazard to have one of those break. You have to have a toxic biohazard cleanup if you break those. We took all of ours out and we're not using them. The unfortunate thing is the government's made it such that there will be no more incandescent bulbs created after, if it's 2012 or 2000, there's some day in the future. So
By LEDs.
Yeah, by LEDs. That's hopefully the way that it's going to go. They're much safer.